Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, the Rudransh Pandey Show. This is our episode 3 coming up next. So guys, as you have already seen, we have got Viren Dave with us today. Viren is an engineering graduate. He works at an MNC. Leaving his professional career aside, he also does a lot of social activities. So he's involved in a lot of social activities, in which one of them is working for an animal NGO, namely the Pawsome People. We'll get connected with Viren in a minute, and we'll just know what Pawsome People is all about and how he manages his time. And we'll come get to know like everything.
Hey, hi Viren.
Hi Rudransh, how are you?
Fine, man. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely great, man.
I think now we are meeting virtually after the TEDx event, right?
So long, yes. I think it's been over a year. And
Yeah,
we're
more than a
right now.
year. More than a year.
Yeah, more than a year, in fact. It's so great
You
to
were,
be on your show, man. Really, really. I've been following it through as well, and I'm enjoying each and every episode that comes out. Great
thank.
job.
Yeah. Okay, Viren. Let me just tell the viewers about you.
Yeah.
You were a part of the TEDx Youth 2.0 at Shravanampati with around 30 members, and you played
Yeah.
one of the most integral role at the team, right? And also you are working at Pawsome People. Also, you are managing your work professionally with an MNC.
Right.
Okay, so let's tell our viewers first what Pawsome People is exactly. So this will be my first question right away. Can you please explain what Pawsome People project is, and what do your organization do?
Yeah, absolutely. The Pawsome People Project is an animal welfare organization which is based out in Coimbatore. It is one of the only few organizations in Coimbatore who caters for the needs and also helps all these treaties that are in the city. And we are partnered with another organization, which is Humane Animal Society, who have a shelter here in the city as well. And the Pawsome People project, we do a lot of stuff. But if I had to put down into pillars, the main pillars would be the one of the most important ones would be sterilization, and then we have vaccination. We even do rescues, adoptions, and even fostering. So this is what organization does, and in the end, what we are trying to achieve is to make Pawsome People here in Coimbatore.
Okay, great, great. Yeah. Organization work only with dogs, or is it like for all animals? Because I've been following the organization on Instagram, and I see a lot of stories related to dogs early. So that's the doubt.
Yeah, so this organization is centered over animals which have paws, so which is dogs and cats. So right now we are just limiting ourselves to these two animals because we are a new organization and we want to do a maximum that we can for a specific animal before we decide to expand, to different animals. We are in the long run, striving to help all animals in general. But that might come in the future.
Okay, okay. Next question, Viren.
Yeah.
Could you please tell us more about the founders and the people behind the project, behind the organization? What made them start it?
Sure. So the founder is Megha Jose, who came up with this brilliant idea exactly a year back. And she was working for Cisco before that. And then she decided she wanted to do something in this as well. And she was in Bangalore. So, she was living in a different city and it was a little difficult. So she came to Coimbatore and she's currently director of Fortune Wealth Management, and also she does the entire operations for the Pawsome People project. And I am a volunteer, so we have a core team in which I'm one of them, and then we have volunteers as well, but we all coexist. And so all of these people, we are now expanding over time, and all of these people, we have actually come together to form an organization in this 1 year. So the credit goes to all of them, but for the brilliant idea that came up with, it does go to Meghajas.
Okay. Also, how long do you work there? Like once a week or twice a week, or is it like you get a call and you just have to rush?
So it isn't like that, because we are a volunteer based organization. So it is, you have the volunteer have all the, they can decide the time that they want to spend for the organization. They can so usually what our volunteers do, they do take responsibility when there's an issue in their own place, that is in their own locality or community. And that is how it is. We do not have any fixed time of spending 1 hour a day or 2 hours a day. We do not have that. We all exist when there is a need. We all take actions when there is a necessity.
Yes, yes, that's right. Because you have helped me with a dog, so I can never forget that. Right. So we have to tell the users the viewers about that dog particularly. So he is a street dog. He lives near my house, and he's been really kind to me since about 2 years now. And it so happened that suddenly he just became sick, and the only person that I had in my mind you, because you were also doing a lot for animals and you were also a part of Pawsome People at that time, so you have helped me with that.
Yes, it was a dog. It wasn't anything serious. It just needed proper care and attention. So usually people who do not know that, we usually assume that this dog is going to die, even if it has a tiny disease which isn't really fatal or deadly. And we stop, helping the dog only because we know for a fact that it is going to die. And more often than not, we are wrong about it, because most of the cases are curable when it comes to dogs.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Viren, moving on. uh, since when have you been a part of Pawsome People project, and what made you join the organization?
Oh, yes. So I became a part of the Pawsome People project when just 10 months back, when the organization was a little shy of 2 months. And at that time, I was very, very compassionate about animals, not just dogs, but very, compassionate towards all animals, because I had this one thing stating that we must coexist with them. So we must live together, and they must have equal rights as well, equal harmony that we humans have. And at that time, my friend posted this thing on Instagram saying that they were looking for volunteers, and I knew that I had to apply for this, because in Coimbatore, with very limited organizations, it was difficult to find a good one. And the Pawsome People, I knew that Pawsome was going to do an amazing job, because it was when I saw their page, I realized that they were all youngsters, and all youngsters were very passionate about it. And they knew that they were there for a cause. And that is why I joined the organization.
Perfect, man. Very, very well done. Very well done. I guess people must come forward for doing social work. Mostly, students have it in their mind, but they do not take the next step of starting. I guess that is the problem with most of the youngsters today. They have things in their mind going on. They want to do a lot of things, but they do not take that one step of starting. What do you
No,
say?
very, very true. Taking the first step is the hardest, and then it just goes with the flow.
Yeah,
So
that,
once you do take the first step, then it becomes easier.
yes, yes, you're right on that. Okay, moving on. Uh, in what conditions do you often find animals, and what is our responsibility as a society?
Okay. So right now the organization is based out in Coimbatore. So we do have limited number of cases that are directed towards us. So more often we do get cases where dogs, they're hit by vehicles, which is one of the main reasons that we get calls. Apart from that, we do get calls when a dog is estranged or is abandoned in the middle of the road, and we do search for their parent around, but we do not see anybody, and they're just abandoned there. Especially during this pandemic, when people had this misconception that our own pet would give us the virus. People started abandoning, and we did get a lot of calls about that. We did spot a lot of dogs who were abandoned. Apart from that, we do see that in general, people of Coimbatore, they are compassionate. So whenever they see a dog, who has some disease or the other, they make sure that they click a photo and send it to us so that we can act on it. And that is a very good quarter, because a lot of people would do that. They do not want to take that kind of an ownership. They do not want to take that responsibility of doing it. And in Coimbatore, people do take responsibility, and that is one of the best things. So all of these cases we do get from each and every day we get, and we try to cater and solve almost all of it.
Okay, nice. So as a society, our responsibility is to at least let organizations know what they could do if we are aren't able to make things right. Like
Exactly.
in my case, I did not have any idea what next, right? So I called it up to you, and then you
Right.
helped him, and he's absolutely fine.
Exactly. So if you hadn't actually, texted me with the photo, then we
Hmm.
wouldn't have known what the state of dog would have been. 2 days later, 3 days later, we would have never had the idea that this dog was suffering this. And only because you put it to us as an organization, you put it to our organization, we could, advise you on what to do and what was the next step. And that is why the dog is healthy. So you people do have to take the responsibility to that. It is just a small step. So once they take the responsibility, it makes a huge difference.
Yes, true. That is very true. Okay, Viren,
Yeah.
now how big is the community of Pawsome people, and how do you manage to get things done?
Yeah. We are around 150 people in the organization. It's been a year. So we are 150 people who are continuously working for this cause. We have recruitments that happen periodically because we do receive registrations to join the organization. And the best part is, though it is a Coimbatore-based organization currently, we do get requests to join the organization from different cities like Bangalore and other places up north. And they would also be very very enthusiastic about this, and they would say something or the other I can do. And so they also become a part of Possum, and we do help them, we do tell them what to do, and we do all of that we can. And how we do stuff is it's very basic, because the organization, once we receive cases, we try to get them solved. And apart from that, we have we have different people who are ready to fund the organization. Also, we have fundraisers that we plan throughout the year, in which we brainstorm ideas and do it. So major thanks to all the people, all the donors who actually put their time and funds to the organization so that it can run smoothly. And we run because they exist. Some people know that they cannot give time and energy towards to go to an organization. They cannot go and help an animal. So, and they have this they have this fear, they have this guilt, running right inside them. So the best thing that they do is they donate to an organization whom they recognize is doing some job that is helping the animals.
Yeah, correct. Viren, this is the most exciting question. I wanted this to come up. So last month was your birthday month, and Possum People turned 1 year, and you did a couple of activities, right? So I want you to just tell what all activities did you guys do at your birthday month, for the
Absolutely.
birthday,
Yes.
completely a year.
We were very excited that the organization turned 1 year old. And because not the fact that it's just 1 year old, because we've done a lot in this 1 year span. And that is why this 1 year was very memorable to us. And we did not just do a couple of activities, we did a lot more. So I'll give you a brief of all that we did. So we made a lot of videos to give our volunteers and people who follow us to know all that we've done in a year. So it was like a recap of the entire year that we did. And this people started recognizing, they started loving the fact that we did so much, and people started contacting us more. Also, we had this event which is collaring drive. So we collared in just 1 week, we collared around 100 dogs with reflective collars across the city. All our volunteers, they were scattered, and they took different places in the city to make sure that some dogs in their area are collared with reflective. Apart from that, we had a lot of Instagram live sessions with experts in this very field. So people, not just from Coimbatore, from different parts of the country, they came up and they put up a live on our Instagram page, which we moderated. So that our viewers can get a better picture, and it was open for questions as well. So people were, typing questions in it, and our guests were answering them. Apart from that, we had Save a Life video in which we urged people to come forward and save a life. So we, as I told, there are 5 pillars, and doing something in one of those 5 pillars would make a difference, and that's what we urged people. And that, I tell you, I kid you not, there were so many people who took this up campaign and who made sure that they were doing their part. And in the last week of our birthday month, we had this fundraiser, which was a Pawsome concert. We had around 10 artists who came and performed live, and we had our viewers who viewed them, and they had a great evening that night. That very day. It was, this entire thing happened in one single month, and we had activities planned one after the other throughout.
Okay. So which area were you working for the collar reflectives?
Yeah, so I live in Sai Baba Colony. So I was catering to dogs here in Sai Baba Colony.
Okay, okay. So you were working there. Great time, man. I mean, this was the most awaited question. I wanted to know what all did you guys do. I mean, I have been following you on the Instagram. I've seen a couple of lives as well. But
Yeah.
still, there is one thing to be known.
Very true, very true. Because it was 1 month, and we did not want to keep our page, dormant in this 1 month. We wanted it to be filled with something or the other, so that people know that we're turning one.
Yeah, true. Okay. Okay. Next question. How can we, as ordinary citizen, get connected and help the organization?
Yes, so ordinary citizens like us, we are all ordinary citizens who became a part of Pawsome. So you guys can also join the organization. We have recruitment drives happening periodically. Apart from that, if there are people who say that, who have a tight schedule and realize that they do not have enough time and energy to give towards an organization, I would say you can always get in touch with us and help these treaties in your community. So something as basic as just feeding the dogs in your locality would do a great job. Getting biscuits and feeding them. You will know by the end of the day that that dog is not going to sleep with hunger. So you will know that, and that satisfaction, I tell you, it's greater than anything in the world.
I know I have been doing this. So yes, I definitely know that. It's not important that you are a part of organization and then helping things. It's just that you just take your own responsibility, do something, you'll feel great for yourself.
Exactly. So if everybody took responsibility like this, then an organization would not even will have to exist in that case.
Correct.
All of us would be a part of this massive organization who are doing it. So people can do that as well. And apart from that, I would urge people to drive slowly, because more often than we think, we do happen to crash over a vehicle who pass. I mean, a dog or an animal who's passing the road. And it hurts a lot, not just for the animal, but for us as well. So if we could drive slowly and be responsible and sensible while driving, that would go a long way as well. So you can do numerous things. It does not necessarily have to, put in time, put in money for an organization. If you did something for your own community, which you think was going to help the animals, that would be a great job.
Yes, true, Viren, very true. Because yeah, there are people. I have seen a lot of people who also adopt animals. This is one of my friend. I just saw her story today, and she has just adopted a dog today. So
Exactly.
that feels good. Like it's good
Yes.
that got a home.
Exactly. So adoptions are the best thing in the world, I tell you, because the happiness that you get out of adoptions, it's just when there's a difference when you buy a dog and when you adopt a dog. Buy, you're putting in money and you're saving a dog's life. But in adoption, you're not buying a dog. You're actually giving a life to a dog. And
Yes.
it is always better to save somebody than to get it from breeders who are actually doing it. So always saving a life is what would be a major importance.
Yes, that's very correct. And I think if all of us just do something for them, it'll be great. This world exists for all of us, right? It is for
Exactly.
everyone. We
Exactly.
just
So
act selfish and do things for us.
exactly. So humans, they're very egoistic, and we think that we are on top of the food chain and stuff. So we can treat all the animals like whatever. But it is not like that. We have to live with them. They also have a life. They have feelings. They also have the rights to live there. And that is what is, we all must realize and work for it.
Yes, very true. Okay, Viren, last question. A little about you. How do you manage your time between career, personal life, and the welfare you do for animals? What message would you like to give the people who struggle to do their part because they do not have enough time? Enough time.
Yes. So I would say about managing is not very difficult. Apart from the work, which does take around 8 to 9 hours a day. Apart from that, the rest of it is personal time, and this is a volunteer-based organization. I'm a volunteer as well, so there is no strict, protocol in which we have to spend a couple of hours a day or spend 5 hours a week. There's no constraint about it, and that is the best part of the organization, because you can do it when you have the time, when you have free time. You do not have to allocate a different amount of time. But we often, when there is an emergency, we just throw our work aside and we do run and to get that thing done to save the animal. Apart from that, it is very, I would say, it is really easy to manage all of this, because there is, apart from work, the rest of it is just on our own, so it does not really matter. And an advice that I would give to all the people who would say that they do not have enough time, well, you do not have to give your time. I do understand some people have to work multiple jobs, and they might not have enough time to do it. In that case, you do not have to be a part of the organization. As I mentioned earlier, you can just do your part. You can make sure that the animals in your in your street, they're all careful and they're all well fed. You can drive sensibly. You can take responsibility when you see an animal injured or with a disease, and contact the right people. And in that way, would make a huge difference. That way, you would yourself be a Pawsome People.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect, Viren. So, this is how I would like to end it, that we can help in a lot of way, and it's just that we just have to take that one step. One step is really hard, but when we take it, it just goes with the flow, right?
Exactly. Very true, man.
Okay, thank you so much, Viren, for coming on the Rudransh Pandey show for episode number 3.
It
Thank
was
you so
great.
much.
It was great to be here. A very exciting thing to do on a Saturday evening.
Yeah, sure. All the best, Viren. All the best to Pawsome People. And I would like people to check out the Instagram page of Pawsome People. It will be there somewhere on the screen. So they could just check that out and contact Pawsome People for any help required, anything related to medicine, veterinaries, anything. So they are just ready to serve. Thank you so much, guys.
Bye.
Bye, Viren.